Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome, Secretary. We talked a lot about all different parts of our budget, this budget, and I agree with everything that's been said. And I'm as frustrated as some of my colleagues have expressed themselves. I'm concerned about the highly qualified teacher provision of No Child Left Behind. I call it NCLB. Schools in my district are frustrated with this inflexible rule. In some cases, the best teachers are being forced to change positions because of their certifications, not exactly what is required of their teaching assignment. I worked with many of these teachers who came from all kinds of backgrounds. I was a VP of a middle school. I was a principal of 2 kinds of elementary schools. I taught high school. And some of the rules and regulations that we impose upon public education doesn't seem to jive with what the children need. So I have 2 basic questions, and I have a third one. Basically, have you ever worked directly in a school? And I searched the internet for your bio, and you have a nice bio. And congratulations on having 2 children. I have 2 children too. But my question relative to your professional preparation, what is your professional preparation for education if we're looking at highly qualified teachers and making them, forcing them to change their position because of certification? What is it in your background, educational preparation, that makes you a highly qualified Secretary of Education?
Congressman, let me first answer the question about highly qualified teachers with respect to policy and our reauthorization proposal. One of the things I think we've learned over the 5 years we've had No Child Left Behind, now that we have all this data around our schools and so forth, is that the need to recognize highly effective teachers that may relate more to achievement and results as opposed to various input mechanisms around certification.
I understand that. Excuse me for interrupting, but have you ever worked in a school directly?
Yes, sir. I've done some substitute teaching early in my career. Since my career is primarily in the public policy arena, I've worked
So you have a credential to teach?
No, sir. I was a substitute teacher in Texas, and that didn't require a teacher certification per se. I did it as a temporary basis. But my background in preparation for this job is in the policy arena.
So in terms of preparation in the policy area for education, what degrees do you hold?
I hold
what professional preparation do you have to be able to do that?
I hold a bachelor's degree from the University of Houston. I have worked
bachelor's in what? Excuse me.
In political science and journalism. My background is in public policy. I've worked in the state around legislative arenas. I've worked for 2 governors on behalf of local school boards, various aspects. And
thank you. My point is this: Congress has many people from different diverse backgrounds and careers to come together to hammer out policy, and we convert our we convert our personal backgrounds and contribute that to hammering out public policy. And I think that's what gives us such great depth in terms of the issue of diversity. In the area of education, I suspect that for us to have good public policy leadership in that public policy, such as we require principals to be prepared, teachers to be credentialed and prepared. In order to lead our educational facilities, they need to be highly qualified. And I guess there's a disconnect in public policy when there's no professional preparation in that. I understand public policy, and I understand what you're saying, and I don't think I could get a degree in political science. But in education, I understand that, and I think that there's a sense of frustration here that we're off the mark. And the kinds of response I hear from not only yourself but from other departments also is continued funding at the same level, all of which says there's no increase. And I think that this is where the frustration is coming from. The idea of testing also, the national test that we have, I think does not address the evaluation for each state, and I think that was mentioned. And so the national standards, NAEP, testing companies, they're the ones that are probably having the benefit of our educational policies. But we're not pulling these standards together, and there are high standard states that are being dinged because of low standard states that are reaching their goals, but it's making everybody else look bad. So in terms of accountability, what is your plan to... Thank you. I'll submit the rest of my questions, Mr. Chairman, in writing.